Thank you for being here for our third weekend of this Achieve Coach Certification Program. Let's get started with an opening prayer. And for the opening prayer, I'd like to ask, let's see, how about Joshua? Could you offer an opening prayer for us to get us started?
Sure. Please join me in prayer. And women of Lord Heavenly Parents, prayers of divine, friends of her and humankind. Good morning. I'm grateful that we have this opportunity to join this intensive on this day. I pray that we can really have a successful session and program today, and that for those that are still going on, they can drive safely. And yeah, we can really gain a lot out of this. And I thank you. And I put this prayer in the name of Joshua Gutaski of the Great Task Blessings for Family and everyone gathered here.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so once again, welcome everyone to today's training. We've got some very exciting content today for this third weekend, and just some reminders for Zoom etiquette. So one is, as much as possible, try to keep your video on throughout the training today. It's always more engaging for both sides, both as the speaker, to be able to see you and to see your reactions, see your smiles and your excitement when I could see your videos. And also for you, it kind of helps you to keep focused and keep engaged with the content. So yeah, I really want to encourage you to keep your videos on throughout the training. Second point is to just mute yourself when you're not speaking. These sessions are going to be recorded for those who couldn't make it today. So we want to make sure that we can have a clean recording for everyone, including for all of you for your review purposes, and just to keep the program going smoothly. Just remember to mute yourself when you're not speaking. Another point is to rename yourself as your real name. So just check your little box that shows your picture. If it doesn't say your actual name, like if it says something ministry or something family church or something like that, just make sure you change your name so that when I call on you, it's I'm pretty sure I know all of you by now, but just in case, it makes it easier for me if I can just see your name in the box. And then finally is, there's going to be plenty of time to do some Q&A throughout today's sessions. So please raise your hand anytime you want to ask a question. Well, not anytime, but when you want to ask a question during the Q&As, just make sure you raise your hand. And let's just make sure everyone knows how to do that. So if you can just practice using raising your hand, the digital raising your hand, not your physical hand. It also puts your picture right at the front so I can see who's raising their hand. Okay, very cool, very cool. Looks like most of you got it. If you don't know how to do it, you just click on, there's a somewhere somewhere on your screen. Actually, I gotta figure it out. But so yeah, looks like you're all good. So you can put your hands down, and I believe I can do that. Yes, lower all hands. Okay, great. And I saw one heart, so that's nice too. But yeah, if you also, throughout the program, feel free to, do some, type in the chat if you want to, respond to something, or you just want to share your excitement or your insight. Try to engage with the content as much as possible. The more that you engage, the more that you're going to get out of the experience. So, and also just let me know if I'm talking too fast. I've gotten that feedback before that I'm a pretty fast talker on these trainings. So especially if, English is your second language and you want me to slow down a little bit, just write it in the chat, slow down, and I'll make an adjustment for you. Okay. So the purpose of this third weekend is to learn and practice more advanced techniques of coaching, and then to also learn some basic marketing techniques. So to go over the schedule, we're going to start off, we're right here, we're introducing this weekend. And then right after this, we're going to do a quick Kahoot review. So reviewing some of the content from the last weekend. And then we're going to go into our first main advanced technique, excuse me, which is the 7 levels of energy. And I'll kind of go through an explanation of what these 7 levels of energy are. And yeah, I'm sure many of you are already aware, but there was also a example video that was sent out earlier this week. So yeah, if you were able to watch that, I think you'll be very much prepared. If you weren't, then don't worry about it too much, because yeah, I will be explaining the whole process. But a big part of today is going to be the practice. So yeah, as mentioned the first weekend, a big part of this training is just learning by doing. So practicing the content, the concepts, and then after you practice and make mistakes or not make mistakes, whatever, then we come back and we have a chance to kind of share your experience and debrief. So that's kind of the way that it'll work, first with the energy levels, and then with the gremlins. We're also going to have a break at 11:40. And during that time, I'll also just put up the example video for the gremlins in case you didn't watch it and you want to just watch that during the break. But also this is a good time to, go get a snack or, breakfast if you're on the West Coast. Or just take a break before we move on. So the second half is we're going to start with the gremlins explanation. So gremlins is a very powerful technique for kind of unraveling some more like internal limiting beliefs and blocks. So we're going to, I'll explain it first, kind of the whole process, and then we'll have some time to, again, practice it with a partner, and then debrief. And then we're going to finish off with some marketing best practices and next steps, and we'll have a Q&A at the end if you have any more questions. So it's going to be a very, condensed day, but also I think it'll go really quick. It's going to be very engaging, a lot of practice on your end. Let's enjoy together and just do our best. All right. So let's get into our Kahoot game. All right. So I think everyone here at this point knows how to play Kahoot. But this time around, just a note is that the questions are also going to include some, what's it called? Multiple choice questions. There's also going to be multiple answer questions, so more like checkbox questions, and then there's going to be some true or false questions. So we're switching it up a little bit. It's going to be a little more challenging than last time, but I think it'll be a lot of fun nonetheless. So just share my screen. Okay, my screen sharing paused. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's see. This works. Okay, so y'all can see that, right? So there's the game pin. So you got to get your phone out. You can snap the QR code, or you can go to kahoot.it and put in the game code. got 17 people on the Kahoots, 29 people on the Zoom. So it's like still waiting for some of you to get on. So we'll just take another 5 seconds to get on to the
I'm
Kahoot.
sorry, my screen is a little bit off. So I have to figure out my screen.
Oh, you have to figure out your screen.
Yes, sorry, I cannot see any. Just yeah, I have to do
okay.
something.
Yeah, this is the QR code. You can just scan that with your phone. That's the way that you play Kahoot, is with your smartphone. Yeah, anyway, we're gonna get started. If you haven't joined, then don't worry, this is not part of your evaluation. So this is just for fun and review. You can kind of just join in your mind. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Okay, the first question, the WISER method stands for, is it who, insight, strive, examine, revamp, who, inspiration, strategy, execution, review, wisdom, heart, outreach, responsibility, gratitude, desire, and coaching. Okay, so most of you got that one right. I'm glad to see that. So yes, the answer was who, inspiration, strategy, execution, and review. Okay, I guess shouldn't be surprised. Now Kimi is at first, and then we got Yasu, Joshua, Yoshi, and Landon. Let's go to the next question. During the second week, we learned about, and you're going to choose all of those that apply: breakthrough goals, sales strategy, identity statements, coaching, and training. Okay, so yeah, it looks like a lot of you got those right. So let's check out the leaderboard. Now Kimi is on top, Joshua, Yoshi, and then Justin and Takashi. This one's a true or false question. The first step in the WISER process is to discover our original self through gratitude, passions, and identity statements. All right, so a lot of you got that one right. The answer was true. And we still got now Kimi on top, Joshua, Yoshi, Justin, and Tomoko came up to the 5th place. Next question, create identity statements based on what we want, not who we are. Is that true or false? Great, yes, a lot of you got that one right. That one is false. And we'll change the leaderboard. Joshua's on top, Yoshi, and then now Kimi, and the bottom 2 are still the same. Another true or false, we create priority strategy list to achieve our identity statements in the second step in the WISER process. Is that true or false? Okay, a lot of you got that one. Actually, didn't get that one right. So yes, the strategy is actually in the third step. That's the S of WISER. So Yoshi is now on top, and then now Kimi, Tomoko, Monica, and Shauna. So this is a multi-select question. In the second step of the WISER process, inspiration, we do what? Identify 5 of our passions, identify and address top foreseeable challenges happen, establish 3 measurable goals, and visualize details, identify target emotions, and create powerful. So you're going to choose all of those that apply. This is for the second step of the WISER process, inspiration. Yeah, you guys did. So yeah, the answers were establish 3 measurable breakthrough goals and visualize and identify target emotions, create powerful affirmation statements. So we got now Kimi on the top now, Tomoko, Yoshie, Justin, and Monica. This is a true or false question. Pareto principle states that 80% of the effects from 20 comes from 20% of causes. Or okay, good job, everyone. Most of you got that one right. That was true. And no change in the leaderboard. Let's go. We've got 4 more questions left. This is another multi-select. In the third step in the WISER process strategy, we choose all that apply, identify and address top foreseeable challenges happen, decide on top 3 actions for each, clear, create daily habits for each breakthrough goal, and set time on your priorities. Then you can choose all that apply for this one. All right, let's see how everyone did. So yeah, the answers were the first and the last answer. Okay, so only change is that Shauna got bumped up to 5th place. So true or false, in the 4th step in the WISER process execution, we create daily habits for each breakthrough goal. That true or is that false? In the 4th step in the WISER process execution, create daily habits for each breakthrough goal. All right, most of you got that one right. That one was true. And no change in the leaderboard. This is another multi-select. In the last step in the WISER process review, some tools that we can use are, and choose logs, review, energy level, summary review, So yes, it was daily logs, weekly review, and summary review. All right, and looks like Tomoko's now on top with Yoshie second, Shauna, now Kimi, and then Monica. Just a couple more questions to go. One of the ways to find new clients is to inform them that you are in a coaching program and explain why. So again, all content based on our last weekend. Is this true or false? Okay, and most of you got that one. That one was true. And just Monica and now Kimi switch. So we're going into our final question. We should never offer trial or free coaching sessions as clients may not value them and lack commitment. Is that true or false? What do you think? All right. Yes, that one is false. Definitely giving a free trial session is a great way to get new clients. So in third place, we have Monica. Good job, Monica. Second place, Yoshie. Good job, Yoshie. And in first place, we have... Oh, wow. Good job, you guys. Runners up, Anthony and Justin. All right. So give yourselves a round of applause. You all did great. So that was our review. And yeah, again, there's no prizes. These Kahoot reviews, just opportunity to review on last week's content, the last weekend's content. Okay, so we're going to get into our first main topic for today, and that is energy levels. So yeah, many of you might remember this from the Achieve program, but I'm just going to go over what these energy levels are. So basically, the energy levels are different mindsets which we experience our world. So, you know, the energy levels could be called many things. It could be called, you know, we call them energy levels. You can think about it like your state of mind, or the state of your heart, your mindset. There's many ways to kind of talk about energy levels, but the great thing about this technique of the energy levels is it really breaks down these different levels of energy into kind of very clear patterns that we can start to recognize in our lives and also in the lives of our client, and help them to gain more awareness of their own energy. So these energy levels, they can change from moment to moment. It's not like, you know, oh, I was a level 2 on Tuesday, I was a level 4 on Wednesday, and today I'm feeling like I'm on a level 1. It's not really like that. It's more like we go through these different energy levels throughout our day, depending on the different circumstances that we're going through, different experiences that we have. And yeah, you know, might be at a level 1 in one moment, and you're in a certain environment. Maybe you go to work and you're mainly operating at a level 3 kind of sense of responsibility. And then you go home and you feel this compassion and gratitude for your family, level 4. And then before you go to sleep, you have an incredibly intuitive dream or something, and you're at a level 6. You know, it can change from moment to moment and from situation to situation. And through the coaching, it helps us to gain deeper awareness of where we're actually at, so that we can actually change our energy levels through our own self-awareness. And one more point is that most people are unaware of these energy levels. So we all go through these energy levels. We're going through them constantly, but most people are not aware that these energy levels actually exist, or are unable to kind of put to words these different levels of energy. So that's a big thing that these 7 levels of energy offer is, first of all, just the awareness that they actually exist. So for each energy level, there's a key word, but we're going to go into each energy level a little bit more in depth. But the key word is really there just to help you to remember that energy level, to kind of remind you of what that energy level is mainly kind of about, general kind of feeling or idea of that energy level. So the first energy level is the energy of despair. And then the second one goes to anger, and then responsibility, compassion, opportunity, intuition, and then finally creativity. So yeah, again, a little bit more about these energy levels. These energy levels, they directly affect our happiness, productivity, and fulfillment. So yeah, depending on where we are on that, on the energy levels, we're going to experience different kinds of emotions, and it's also going to, impact how much we're able to get done and succeed in our life and feel fulfilled. Awareness of these energy levels provides freedom to choose how to respond rather than constantly be subjugated by the circumstances around us. So a lot of people, including ourselves, we live very kind of reactive lives. Somebody says something and we react to it, either in maybe in anger, or it could be also reacting in compassion or a sense of responsibility, or maybe somebody's saying something and you feel this sense of guilt or sense of shame, right? We're just kind of reacting to things. But when we start to become aware of these energy levels, we can start to choose more consciously how we want to respond to what's going on in the world outside of us. And then mastery actually allows you to not only affect your own energy levels, but affect the levels of energy of those around you. So not just bringing up your level from a level 1 to a 2 to a 3, but how to actually help others and those in your environment to raise up that their energy levels. So I want to show this chart. So this comes from the original source of these energy levels. And I believe, now Kimi learned these energy levels in his training with his coaching school, IPEC. But you can kind of think about these like, intellect, emotion, and will. Each level of energy has a point of intellect, emotion, and will attached to them, a core thought, a core feeling, emotion, action, or result. So in the first level of energy, which we put, the keyword as despair, the key thought is that I'm a victim. So it's like, why is it happening to me? It's like, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. There's no way that I could do that. And the core feeling or emotion is really just kind of apathy, like kind of that feeling of like, I give up, like I can't do it. There's nothing I can do about this situation. And, my life is, my life is a prison, that kind of feeling. I feel so stuck. I'm sure we've all been there. Can you raise your hand if you've been there before? And thank you for your honesty. And the key the key action is lethargy. So basically, it's not doing anything. It's kind of just feeling paralyzed and feeling stuck in our current circumstances. The second level of energy, anger, that the core thought is conflict. So it's like fighting with somebody, some external force, some kind of organization or something that's outside of you. The core feeling or emotion is anger. So just being angry at somebody or something. And the key result or action is defiance. It is you're no longer not doing anything like lethargy, but what you're doing is kind of trying to defeat the thing that you feel is causing your problems in an act of defiance. And, you know, that these first two energy levels are very, we call them catabolic energies. They're kind of destructive energies or non-productive energies. They don't usually lead to anything that's positive. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever had a really, you know, amazing result from acting out in anger, but usually those, you know, what we do when we act out in anger is it might create a short-term temporary solution to the problem, but it often leads to longer-term challenges and more conflict and resentment on especially the side that you're getting angry at. So moving on to level 3, the core thought is responsibility, and that's what that's the key word for this one, is responsibility. So this is where we go from, okay, whose fault it is? It's your fault, it's the government's fault, it's my church's fault, to, okay, what can I be responsible for? What can I actually do to make this better? Or how do I play a part in this whole situation? And then the core emotion or feeling is kind of is forgiveness, or being able to kind of let go. So being able to forgive somebody or an organization, because we're starting to feel our own sense of responsibility for it. And the action that this can lead to is cooperation. So starting to cooperate and starting to take more productive action to move forward. Although, you know, responsibility, it's great to get there because we're getting out of those lower levels of energy, but responsibility is also we're not yet at the point where we're really excited to take action or to cooperate, because it's kind of like, okay, I understand my responsibility, I understand my duty, I'm just going to get it done to try to make this better. So we go from there to the next level, which is level 4, which keyword is compassion, and the core thought is concern. So this is really where we start to think about other people and what other people are going through. Responsibility is still kind of about myself and my own responsibility. What can I be responsible for? What can I do? But then compassion, we start to really look outward, and we start to feel we start to think about other people's situations and what are they going through and what are their struggles, and how is this situation impacting this person or that person, or this, you know, my family or my children. And the core feeling or emotion is the feeling of compassion. Really feeling, I feel sorry for you. I feel I want to help you. And then the action and result is service. So this is where we start to really want to serve others, to make other people's lives better. Not just because it's our duty, but really coming from a place of kind of your heart of, I want to help this person. So we go from there, and let me just mention, you know, all of these energy levels, they kind of have their use in our life, but they also have their own kind of drawbacks. So for example, you know, compassion is a really great place to come from when you are serving people. But one of the downsides of compassion is that we can get really burnt out sometimes if we're overly compassionate and overly in that space of service, because compassion is coming from that place of, you know, I just want you to win. I don't care if I win, but I want you to win. Even if I lose, I still want you to win, and I want you to prosper in your life. So again, it's really wonderful energy of service, but it can also, if we kind of just remain there for too much, lead to burnout at times. So moving on to level 5 energy. This is, we call the energy level of opportunity. The core thought is reconciliation. So you're trying to bring the two sides together. So you're bringing my side and their side together. So really, the thought is around like win-win. How can we both win in this situation? How can we both move forward together? So it's no longer I want to win and I want, even if you lose, I just want to win. It's not, I'm okay with losing as long as you win, but it's really, let's both win together. Let's both move our lives forward together to a higher realm of joy and happiness. The core feeling, emotion is peace, but also I would say this can be also a very exciting level of energy because you're seeing the opportunities now, not just for the other, but for yourself as well. And there can be a lot of excitement in this energy level. But yeah, also a lot of peace because you're feeling reconciled with another person. You're feeling like everyone is kind of, everyone is winning. And then the action or result is acceptance. So really being able to accept the situation and not just like, oh, okay, I'm going to accept it, but really like coming from that place of, yeah, this is great. I'm really joyfully, happily accepting what's going on right now. The next level, level 6, we call this the level of intuition. And the core thought is synthesis. So synthesis is kind of like how things all come together, right? So you're starting to see how the dots all connect. I don't know if you've ever been in, an experience where you had a moment of realizing how kind of all these dots connected to get to where you are now. Like feeling guided, like feeling like guided by a higher power, guided by God, like, wow, because I met that person when I was, 18 years old, that led to, me meeting my future spouse. And then that led to, me having these wonderful children. And now I'm just feeling so incredibly joyful and grateful how all of this kind of connected together, you know, or, for me, it might be like, I met Naokimi, that one time, and then we started working with each other, and then we both got into coaching, and now we're here doing this coaching program. It's like, wow, this is all supposed to happen just the way it's happening, right? It's an incredible kind of feeling of everything is all kind of aligning, right? Yeah, amazing, right? So the core feeling or emotion is joy. You feel so joyful. Oh my gosh, thank you, God. Thank you for my life. This is amazing. I'm so grateful to be here. And then action or result is really coming from this place of wisdom. Like you're at this place of you're seeing how things aligning. You're really coming from this place of understanding kind of the greater picture of life. And then you can make very wise choices in your life. But also, I would say another one is to intuit, to act from your intuition, act from your gut. Like you just kind of feel this feeling that you know the right way to go. You know the answer. There's no more self-doubt. You're just going forward because you can feel that in your intuition. Okay, so the final level of energy, we call this the creativity energy. The core thought is non-judgment. So this is where we start to kind of let go of all of our kind of thoughts, all of our limiting beliefs, and kind of going to this point of like zero. So it's kind of like if you think about like when when God created the earth, right? Like just pure kind of creativity from zero. What do I want to create? If I want to create this amazing, create this amazing picture of what the world could be like, what life could be like. And there's no judgment about it. There's no worry about judgment. It's just pure, what can I create? And the feeling, emotion is just absolute passion. So you're just coming from this place of complete passion and excitement and, oh my gosh, what if this was possible? What if this was possible? What if this was possible? I love getting into conversations of level 7 energy. I've had a few with Naokimi, and it's just so exciting. What if we could do this? What if we could do this? What if we could do this? I don't know if you ever had those kind of conversations, but there's just so much joy and passion involved in it. And the action and result is creation. So really creating something, again, not creating based on the past or based on what you've done before or based on your circumstances right now. Do I have the money? Do I not have the money? There's none of that. It's just, if I could really create anything I want, what would I want to create? Magic wand, level 7. It's amazing. So that's just an overview of all these levels. And I hope as I went through these levels of energy, you could kind of reflect on your own life and to see maybe when, times when you experienced those energy levels. Were you guys able to do that? Could you kind of reflect on your own life? Just put your hand up if you were able to do that. All right. Yeah, because these energy levels should be very relatable to everyone, because we're all going through them. So I want to do a kind of an exercise just to help to understand these energy levels a little bit more. So I want to ask you all to be with your keyboards and be with this content. So you get ready to type in the chat, because basically what I want to do is I want to bring up a experience that we all kind of collectively went through in basically everywhere in the globe. We all went through this experience, and we all maybe experienced this experience at different levels of energy at different times. So what I want you to do is to think about this experience from a level 1 perspective. What are some things you might be saying to yourself or saying to others? What might be going on in your mind? And that experience is, what's this? COVID-19, yay! We all went through this experience with pandemic for, what was that, 2 years, right? And probably went through all different kinds of emotions and all different kinds of levels of energy throughout it. And so let's do, so we're just going to do this kind of exercise. So the first level is despair, right? So this is, again, the victim kind of mentality, feeling apathy, feeling shame, feeling worry, lethargy. What are some things that people might say about COVID-19 if they were coming from this level 1 energy? Just type them in the chat. Yes. What would be some things? This sucks. Yeah. Oh man, this really sucks. What else? It's not fair. I can't travel. End of the world. Yeah. Okay. Gotta wear that mask. Fear. I can't do anything. Lonely, hopeless. End the world. We're all gonna die. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That sounds like level 1. I don't care about paying attention to class on screen. Yeah. Right. Okay. So yeah, some other things, right? The economy will never recover. How am I going to feed my family? What if I catch the virus? There's nothing I can do about this. So yeah, those are all really great examples. So how about level 2 energy? This is the level of conflict, anger, also greed comes up in this level 2, blame, defiance. What are some level 2 thoughts that might come up during the pandemic? Rebellion, refuse the shot. Okay, I'm not gonna take that shot. It's China's fault. I'm restricted. Okay, yep, they did. I won't wear a mask. Loneliness, it's your fault. That's causing the problem. Those people are in fault who did not. Blah blah blah. Blame Fauci. The mask is a muzzle. Okay. Why don't people cooperate? Yeah. It's not real. Okay. Yeah. These are great examples. Why isn't the government doing more? They're not going to tell me what to do. It is the government's fault. This is China's fault. Whose fault is this? And these are all level 2 energy examples. So let's go on to the next one. And that is the level of responsibility. So this is, again, where we start to take responsibility. We start to feel forgiveness. Rationalization is also a part of this level of energy. Cooperation, start to cooperate. Think about, what can I do about it? So yeah, what are some things that you might say at a level 3 energy in regards to this pandemic that we went through a couple of years ago, a year ago? I can choose to cooperate, do something good for my family here. I'll do my best. I'm just going to do my part and you should do yours. Practice social distancing. I will adjust. We are all in this together. I can still do my business online. I'm going to state my beliefs, live with the vaccinated, forgiving their lack of fortitude. Okay, yeah. I'm going to help my family. Okay, good. Yeah. So yeah, it might sound like I'm doing the best I can. I hope everyone will take care of themselves. I certainly will. I can find ways to get through this, right? So let's go to level 4. This is the level of concern, compassion, gratitude, and service. What are some things you might say in this level of energy during the pandemic? People are doing the best they can. No one has been through a pandemic before. Very compassionate, yeah. Reaching out to people who are suffering. How can I help? Absolutely. I feel you. I want to help you. Felt bad for God and the kids. Yeah. Got to love everyone, even Democrats. Okay. Enjoy the stay-at-home life. Check-in calls, lots of check-in calls, or doing check-in calls with people. Yeah. That's great. Might sound like, what can I do to help? Who most needs my support? We must do everything we can to help people. Why isn't the government doing more to support the most vulnerable? Like sometimes concern kind of mixes in with that little bit of blame of, oh, why aren't they doing more to help these people, right? But still coming from that place of compassion. So the next point is opportunity. So reconciliation, peace, harmony, excitement, acceptance. What are some level 5 thoughts, emotions, that go with the pandemic? Yeah, no more events. We can save money. That's great. Yeah. All right. The planet can heal. Yeah. Right. Working from home. That's pretty nice. Wow, we can all work from home now. Opportunity to stay at home with family longer. Yeah. Spend more time with family, right? Encourage people not to go down rabbit holes. I can help in some way. Learning from home is fun. Somehow the world came together. I can work from home. Yeah, a lot of people mentioning working from home. Yeah, so some thoughts. What if the virus is here to help us? This is a perfect time to take some online classes and change careers. Maybe get trained as a coach, right? This is a great opportunity for each of us to examine where we're at and what we want to create next. Okay, so the next one is intuition. So this is synthesis. This is you're looking at things coming together. You're feeling joy, hope, eagerness towards the future. And you can really act from a place of wisdom and intuition. So what are some level 6 thoughts around, yeah, that you might experience during the pandemic? I'm blessed to be alive. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Wow, isn't it just wonderful that I'm still alive right now, taking less for granted. Grateful for the opportunities to support my family from home. Internet becomes a great tool. Wow, yeah, so amazing. We're all one global community, keep functioning in new ways, appreciate the outdoors. Yeah, these are great. So some examples here. What an incredible time to be alive. Restaurants are thriving, doing more business and takeout than ever did with seated guests. I'm excited to see how God uses the situation. This is all part of the plan. Everything is happening as it should. So finally, let's go to level 7. This is the place of non-judgment, absolute passion, unconditional love, and creation. What might we be experiencing during a pandemic if we were in level 7 energy? See if you get yourself there. Pure creativity. What would that look like? What would that sound like? See if you can stretch your minds to get there. We are one world family under God. Right. I'm going to find 3 solutions to every problem. Okay. Imagination of a better world. Keep using all the new ways of relating. Creating communities that take care of our emotional, physical, and spiritual health and feel connected. Start a new business. Yeah. Trauma healing on a global level. Wow. These are all super exciting. So yeah, some examples I am, we are, everyone is, all is well, right? So level 7, the idea of a pandemic doesn't even exist in a level 7 kind of energy. COVID-19 doesn't even exist in a level 7 energy. There's just nothing. We're coming from 0, right? So you can literally, you're not even thinking about a pandemic. You're literally just thinking, wow, everything is one. I am one with all is well. What can we create from this point in time, coming from nothing? What would I want to create? Right. So it's not even based on any of the circumstances. It's really just coming from a 0 point. Okay, so give yourselves a round of applause. You all participated super well. I loved hearing your reading your chats. You guys did a great job. So as always with, thank you very much, appreciate that. As always with everything that we give you in this training, I never want you to feel like this is an absolute script, like this is something that you need to follow. These are always just kind of suggestions of, to give you the space to not have to come up with things by yourself. But again, your own creativity, you can take ownership over coming up with questions. But here are just some questions that you could use to kind of evoke these different levels of energy. And a big thing that one way to use these levels of energy is to help someone who's maybe stuck in a level 1 somewhere, and being able to step by step bring them up from a level 1 to a level 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You don't always have to get to 7, by the way. If you only have 20 minutes, it's great to at least get them to a level 3 or a level 4. Or maybe they're at a level 3 and they're like doing their job, but they're not super fulfilled about it. So maybe you want to help them get to that level 5 or 6 or 7. But here are some questions that you can use. And yeah, I would suggest that you do take a picture of this on your screen, because this is something that can be helpful for you when we're about to go into practice after this. So this could be helpful for you during the practice. So for despair, level 1, some questions that you can use to kind of evoke this question is, when do you feel powerless? What's holding you back? What are you afraid of? This all brings up that kind of level 1 energy. Or, sometimes people will just bring up that they're stuck about something. So you don't actually have to ask this question if they're already talking about where they feel stuck about. You don't have to say, oh, when do you feel powerless? Because they're already talking about the powerlessness, right? So you can just you can ask like, oh, what do you feel is holding you back? What are you afraid of? Those kind of answers to kind of go a little bit deeper in that level 1. Level 2, who can you blame? What makes you angry? And I'll usually kind of let people know, like, it's okay, where this is part of the process. So it's okay for the sake of going through this process, like, who can you blame? Because sometimes people are a little bit uncomfortable, especially if they come from like a cultural background where it's not good to be angry, or they've been told, don't complain or don't blame other people. So sometimes I'll just kind of encourage them to explore this level 2 energy. So after these first 2 levels, it's always good to really take some time to acknowledge and validate what's going on. So yeah, I totally understand. Well, not I totally understand, but it's totally understandable. It's totally understandable that you feel that way, and that you're feeling that it's the government's fault, and they put you in a situation, and it's totally understandable that you'd feel angry about that. And then you go on to level 3. Given the circumstances, what can you do to move forward? Or what do you think is going on for them? What do you think their perspective might be? Another question could be like, where do you see your responsibility in this situation, right? So again, this is not a script. It's just you want to try to help get them to that place of responsibility. Then the next one, compassion, some questions. Okay, I got a question in the chat. I'll address all the questions afterwards. Compassion, who can you have compassion for? what struggles slash suffering do you think he or she is going through? So if there's like another person in the situation, which usually, we're always, relating with other people. There's always other people kind of somehow involved, whether that be like, your family or your children are somehow connected to what you're up to in your life, or it could be directly like the person that you're blaming, and you start thinking about, what do you think they're going through? What kind of struggles do you think they're going through? Coming from that place of compassion. Next is opportunity. What's the opportunity you see here? How can you create a win-win situation? So they're feeling, my boss is probably feeling super stressed right now. Yeah, I'm sure they've got so much pressure on their shoulders. What's the opportunity you see? Well, yeah, if I can help to relieve, my boss's stress, then that could lead to a greater relationship between us, and might even lead to future, you know, career prospects for me as well. Oh, wow, that's so exciting. What would that be like for you? And getting into that opportunity. The next phase is intuition. So one question you can ask is, so assuming God has your best interest in mind, what do you think God's intention for you might be in this situation? Or what does your intuition tell you? Just kind of, quiet your mind and ask your intuition, ask your original mind, what is it telling you to do right now? What is it telling you about the situation right now? Oh, it's telling me that everything is going to work out. Everything's going to be okay again. And actually, God is going to use this for my advancement in my life. It's like, oh wow, that's incredible. And then the last point is creation. So what would you be excited to do? And how would that be like for you? And what do you really want? And one question we use sometimes is, if you could have a magic wand and you could just create anything that you want, don't think about any circumstances, not thinking about, what kind of resources you have or don't have, but just absolutely anything. What would you want to create? What would you want? What kind of, picture would you want to paint? And letting people just kind of lay out their creativity from there. Okay. So again, these are all just questions you can use. So we're going to go into some time to practice. But before we get there, I want to just allow now, Kimi, if you'd like to share anything, any of your own insights about these 7 levels of energy, you are more than welcome.
All right. Thank you, Justin. That was great, by the way. Covered a lot of very important content. Yeah, let's give Justin a hand for that. I think he did a great job. One additional point I wanted to add was that every level of energy has its own pros and cons. So it's not just like, oh, the higher energy is always better. Okay, so it's everyone has its kind of role. So for example, when you think of the despair level 1, you might think, oh, it's all bad energy. Like, but one benefit of level 1 despair energy is that it actually draws compassion from others. And especially when you are in a situation where you experienced a tragedy or so on and so forth, it's important for you to be able to feel and experience that pain, and also draw the compassion and support from those around you. So it's not that level 1 energy is always bad. It's just that it has a certain kind of energy that is kind of in despair. The challenge with that is if you stay there too long, even those who are giving you compassion can get exhausted. So that's one thing. Level 2 energy, one benefit of that, when people are in level 1 energy, they feel stuck or victimized or despair. You can't really go to them with, so what can you be grateful for? It's too much of a gap to kind of get someone from feeling victimized to get to a too high level of energy. So actually level 2 energy is the best energy to get people unstuck. In other words, get them angry about something. It's better than being stuck about something. So as a coach, you might actually ask questions that really pushes them to get angry. And that's actually intentional. So if someone's feeling stuck about it, oh yeah, whose fault is that? Yeah, that totally sucks. Like get them angry. That's the way you get them out of feeling stuck. So there is a benefit when it comes to even the angry energy. And then when you get to the higher levels of energy, you might think, oh, it'd be wonderful to always be one with the world and absolute creativity. There is a drawback in that energy too, is that when you lead with that kind of energy, um, you can disconnect from people around you. People can't relate with you. You're in the clouds, you're floaty. Yeah, you have great visions, but you're not real. So you have to be aware that every level of energy has its pros and cons, and it's not that we want everyone to just stay in one level of energy. It's it's simply about being aware that there's so many different perspectives with which you can see life and experience life. And the difference is if you're aware of that, you can consciously choose how you behave instead of constantly just reacting to your circumstances. So this is really about living life intentionally, instead of being whipped around life and feeling like, the situation around you controls your life. You actually have full control over how you experience life. And that's the power of this kind of awareness and mindset. And mastery is not just, starting with being able to assess and control your own energy levels. Mastery means that you can actually be sensitive to what energy level you're at and intentionally choose to be at another level. So I can choose to be angry. I can choose to be in the wisdom space. And then you can also help others around you systematically help shift their energy. Have you ever noticed when certain people come into the room, it changes the whole atmosphere? It's because they carry a certain energy with them that actually has the power to affect the energy around you. Or, this is a very common thing, is that someone can drag your energy down, right? Let's say they're pissed off and they curse at you. Immediately, your energy will go to their level and be like, what? No, back to you, so you might curse them back. But that means that you're now allowing them to now drop your energy to their level, right? So now you're being affected by someone else's energy, which is hard to prevent. But if you're aware of that, you can be, oh, okay, don't engage. Got it. Totally understand that that person is angry, but it's about them. And then you can actually still maintain your own energy despite the circumstances. So this is a very, very powerful tool to really learn and master because it affects your worldview, how you experience life. And so, yeah, this is a very powerful tool that you can use in your life and in your coaching.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that added points. Yeah, obviously something that now Kimi and myself are very passionate about. This is a really cool tool. So we're gonna get into some time to practice. So again, make sure if you didn't take a picture, I would take a picture of these questions so you have some kind of reference. But basically, we're gonna take 30 minutes. So we got quite a longest breakout we've done so far in this training. 30 minutes, 15 minutes each to try to walk somebody through from level 1 to as far as you get in the 7 levels of energy. I'm going to say switch at the 15-minute mark. So at that point, just switch regardless of where you're at. And yeah, just make sure that your partner has a chance. Yeah, let me know if you're unable to practice, please. Or if you get into a breakout room with somebody who's not actually present, there's a way to raise your hand. So just give me, yeah, I might be switching things around a little bit in the first minute of the breakouts, but please let me know beforehand if you can't practice, and if you get into a room, let me know. Okay, so enjoy the practice, and we'll see you all when you get back. Oh yeah, now Kimi, you don't you don't need to join. Just FYI.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to.
Oh, you're not able to? Okay. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay, so let me put someone else.
You might want to ask again, Justin, for those who are still on the main screen, if they're able to or not.
Yeah, okay. So anyone, Landon, are you able to join? Oh, he joined. Okay, great. Sylvan, Michael, Lawrence. Well, Lawrence just said so. Doreen. Well, yeah, anyway, Doreen and Michael were in the same breakout room, so that's okay. It's like everyone else is okay.